What's the one thing the world needs most? Peace. Who can bring it? The Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ. I want to share with you today a little video about my journey into finding my own peace. And it really starts with after I found out that Camp Santa Maria was canceled. It's really the one thing I had been holding on to during all the corona craziness. The one thing normal that I felt like I was still going to have at the end of all of it. So once that was gone, I really got sad. I was a little down and I went up north. And throughout the first couple of days, it was beautiful weather. I was with family, but I was still like pretty down about everything. And I, every morning, would try to do at least 20 minutes of praise and worship music on the front porch in the cottage house. And during that time, I started to feel more uplifted and like there was hope, even though I didn't really know what was going on. Something that I was praying with was how Jesus says, I'm the first and the last, the beginning and the end. So I was like, if you're the end, God, then this is not the end. So whatever you're going through right now, if it feels hopeless, if it feels like, wow, I'm never going to get through this, Jesus is the end. Okay, this isn't the end. Also, so I love my scapular. Scapular is a, I don't know what the technical word for it is called, but it's something that you wear around your neck. Catholics believe that with a devotion to Mary, if you wear the scapular, you'll go to heaven. So that's cool. Also, probably make another video about that later. But here's the thing. I love this scapular. About a year ago, a very close friend of mine passed away in seminary. And at the end of last summer, I lost this very scapular on a beach. So I went back to find it. And when I got there, there was a dove on the beach. And why is that significant? Because one, doves don't really go to beaches, like ever. And two, for some reason, a dove was a symbol for Emilian's friends of like his presence, of God saying like he's okay. So when I get to the beach, there was a dove there. And I just knew in my heart that my scapular was right around where that dove was. So as I approached, the thing flew off, and I looked, and my scapular was halfway buried in the sand. I put it on me, and the sun was setting, and I just sat down because I knew I was in a God moment. I knew this was a story that I'd be telling for the rest of my life. Sat down on the beach, the sun was setting, the waves were just gently crashing on the beach. So much peace. And I think that's what prepared me for the next time I lost my scapular on the same beach. I was swimming. I was being dumb. I left it in this like area with a bunch of weeds. And then I couldn't find it. So I spent like literally 4 hours looking for it. Grabbed these rakes. My hands were all blistered up. It was really hot. I was like angry because I was like, I've lost so many things already. I'm not going to lose this. So my uncle Jim was up and he had lost these trees earlier in the day. Long story, won't go into it. But he ended up coming down to the beach to help me look for the scapular, and then he actually found it. So it was cool, like God gave it back to me through someone else. So that in itself was, I had to let go of my own pride to be able to receive the scapular back. So I realized once I had the scapular, all of my sadness and the depression kind of left because I knew that even though I'd lost so many things, I had what was the most important, which was family and God. Right? So no matter what we've lost in this time, hold on to what's important. We've already talked about holding on in the midst of change, right? Hold on to what's important. I really realized that I have the most important things in life, and I'm good, okay? But my journey didn't stop there, okay? I went up to Gaylord, where Camp Santa Maria is, to visit Seth Jordan, the Seth Jordan. And on the way there, when I got there, it was the first time that I wasn't, like, really excited. Because usually when I get up to Gaylord, I'm like ready to go, I'm pumped up, and I'm super excited for camp. But it was the first time that I wasn't like extremely excited because, hey, there's no camp this summer. And interesting enough, there were like rain clouds forming. And if you've gone to camp, you know that it never rains at Camp Santa Maria, it only mists. And sometimes it really mists, like heavy thunder mist, all right? And it reminded me of this time where I went, we had to do this program called Pioneering, and actually Seth and I were in charge of setting it up. So I had to find some post office in town, and I could not find it for the life of me. The GPS I was using was horribly outdated. I ended up going all the way out to a town called Vanderbilt, which was like 30 minutes I don't even know what direction, away from Gaylord. And when I was in Vanderbilt, I saw these storm clouds brewing. So I called Seth and I was like, hey, dude, like, we're going to need a different idea because we're not going to be able to do pioneering in the mist. So I was like, whoa. So when I came up to camp this time and I saw the storm clouds brewing, I was like, you know what? Like, we're going to need another plan for camp this summer because it's almost like misted out, if we can think of it like that. Right? Then I actually met with Seth, and we had Culver's, because Culver's is amazing. And as we were talking, he was telling me about these things that are really going well in his life right now. Like he got like a really great job, has another job too. And I was very excited like for him. And there's a little thing, it's called sharing in someone else's joy. So when you can't find your own joy, mooch off someone else's, all right? When you share in someone else's joy, it lifts you up. It really did. After Seth, I spent the evening with Vic and Connie. Vic is the cook at camp. And their hospitality mixed with sharing with Seth's joy really brought me a lot of joy, a lot of peace, and a lot of closure about camp. So the journey home was also very interesting because it gave me a lot of time to think. It was about 3 hours. And when I left Gaylord, it was pouring rain. And I was thinking about another time at camp that it was pouring mist. And I was there, and one of the volunteers that summer was telling me about a story that happened in overseas, a little thing called Fatima. Okay, so Mary appeared to these 3 children in Fatima, and in it, her main message was that we had to pray the rosary. But there was a specific thing that happened, and it's called the miracle of the sun. All right, so let me paint the picture for you. Basically what happened was there was a lot of rain, like a ton of rain, from like midnight to like 10 a.m. whenever like Mother Mary appeared. So it was pouring rain. And all these people had heard that these 3 children were visionaries, that they were having visions of Mary. And a lot of them were skeptics, a lot of them were atheists, and some of them were like, I need a miracle. So a lot of people that were sick and blind and crippled or whatever came. And it was pouring rain, and they all got soaked, and they were waiting for Mother Mary to appear. And that's when it happened. All right, so there's about 70,000 people there. It was pouring rain all night up until the moment that the children said Mary appeared. But that's not just the miracle. Oh, it stopped raining. Like that happens all the time. Nope. So what happened was the sun came out, and people described it as they've never seen a sun like that. It was like brilliant. It was like an eclipse that you could look at. And they said that the sun danced across the sky. Some people were terrified because it was going back and forth and up and down and stuff like that. And at the end of all of that sun miracle things, many people were healed. Like thousands of people were healed. Blind eyes open. People that were crippled could walk again. Sick people healed. A bunch of people were converted because Mary's awesome. She's the best evangelist. She's over there. And here's the coolest part. Everyone was completely, totally dry. What? Yeah, that's right. Everyone was completely, totally dry, even though it had been raining from midnight to the moment that it happened, which was either 10 a.m. or noon. Sorry that I don't know. So people were terrified and in awe, but overall, many, many, many people converted that day. So why is this important? Well, when I was at camp, it was raining, it was pouring, and I was kind of sad because a group of kids that I really gotten close to had left. And I was like, oh, like I'm kind of bummed out. And this volunteer told me that whenever there's rain, it's a symbol that God is doing something, that God is causing something to grow. And if you look in like agriculture and in gardening, you need to water plants if they're going to grow or not, right? But there's a little thing, April showers bring May flowers. So sometimes you got to go through the rain to get to the growth. And that's really where we're going with this video right now. In a sense, this whole summer, everything that we've had to let go of is kind of like letting it go into the rain, all right? And there's a really awesome guy. He has a really great album called Let the Ground Rest, and the video is going to appear somewhere up here at the end of this video. But I think we can learn a lot from what he sings in this video, because he's talking about there's a time and season for everything, all right? And right now, God is just asking us to wait. It's like we've planted a seed, and it's being watered. We just have to wait for it to grow. And I know we're impatient, because I'm very impatient. But we need to use this time to let the ground rest, right? Let it rain. so it can bring forth the growth in our lives and in the lives of the church. This world needs Jesus. It needs peace, right? And we're going through a lot of tough times right now. I know that. And there's a line in the song that says, flowers only grow once they've tasted rain. And we're all tasting the rain of sorrow, the rain of disorder and craziness going on. But I promise you that God is going to make all things new. He's going to make good things come out of this. He makes all things work together for the good. So what can we learn about the miracle of the sun? Well, when it rains, like it is going on in the world, hypothetically rain, or figuratively, God is causing something to grow. So what is growing in us? Let's hope and pray that it's faith, hope, and love. Let that be growing in us. Right? Mother Mary's main message was pray the rosary. The rosary is very important. It's a weapon. What weapon? Use it. Use it against the powers of darkness. Pray for peace in America and peace in the whole world. And Mary said at Fatima, at that day, the miracle of the sun, that in the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. Triumph. That means we'll win. The victory. At the end of the Bible, we win. The good guys win at the end of the Bible. All right. In the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph, says Mother Mary. So let's pray the rosary to share in the victory that is coming to us. Let the ground rest. Let us have peace, and let faith, hope, charity grow inside of us. We're going to get through this. It's going to sunshine again, right? Everything's not lost. Good things are coming. Brighter days are ahead. God bless.